If you ever call me fun size, that's a slur. That's the F slur if you call me fun size. I'm Haley Griswold.
And I'm Jake Deaton.
And this is The Lost Lore. You never told me that. Well, girl, I just hope today we can get some resolution and like maybe you're going to be ready to take some accountability.
Well, I guess that depends on whether you own up to what you did with Matt.
Okay, well, if we're bringing up what I did with Matt, then I'm going to bring up what you did with Matt. The fraud, the embezzlement.
Come here! Did they ever get in fistfights?
There has been violence on the show. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, okay, Jake, I am so excited for today's episode because we are talking about something so near and dear to my heart, a fundamental pillar that is the core of who I am. It like really makes up me, and that is Bravo, specifically the Real Housewives franchise.
And listen, this is Lost Lore. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a little special interest trade-off. Haley is going to do the Real Housewives and mine will be revealed next week.
I cannot wait.
But this is like truly Lost Lore because when I tell you, I don't know anything, which I think sometimes surprises people because like, you know, fabulous gay man, funny, hysterical, like seems like TV personality, but no knowledge of reality TV. But I've never watched any reality TV.
Any reality TV, and especially Bravo, like because you know there are other networks and that have reality programs, but Bravo is the one.
Bravo.
So yes, Bravo, genuinely, Bravo. So I'm going to just take you on this journey of explaining the Real Housewives to you, and I think I'll start with you. Truly know nothing, right?
Nothing.
Okay.
But when did it start?
The network began in 1980. This is not going to be like the most boring history lesson ever, I promise. But it started in 1980, and their programming was focused on fine art. And film.
So they've really elevated since then.
Yeah, I know. So it's only grown into a more sort of
prestigious niche.
Yeah, exactly. Then in the late 90s, early 2000s, they started pivoting to reality, and their first really big breakout series was actually Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
No way!
Yes, so that was their first big show.
Bravo.
Yeah, so that's the one. But then I came on the following year when they launched the show that really my Nana and I were watching, Project Runway.
That was on Bravo too?
Yes. Do you know Project Runway?
I've never watched any like real reality TV, but I've seen an episode here and there. Isn't that Tyra Banks?
No, that's America's Next Top Model.
See, I don't know anything.
Project Runway is the one with Heidi Klum.
Okay.
She is like the kind of host who at the end is like, in fashion, one day you are in, and the next day, you are out.
Ooh.
And then there's this other fabulous gay man named Tim Gunn who always goes.
I know Tim
you know
Gunn.
him. And so he goes in when they're working on their pieces. And he's
we
like,
hooked up in New York once.
Did he say to you what he says to them? Designers, make it work. And then in 2000, let me check my notes because I did bring notes.
Oh my God, look at this.
Yes, I do have some notes.
ChatGPT knew a lot about Bravo, huh?
Shut up, you fucking word. I have never opened it and you know I haven't.
Haley is the biggest hater of ChatGPT,
you know
let it be clear.
You know it. Okay, this is something I think you'll find interesting. A study released in May of 2008 ranked Bravo as the brand most identified as gay-friendly among gay consumers.
No way.
And
I would have said Chick-fil-A.
In 1980, when it came out on December 8th, which is my Nana's birthday.
Shut up.
So this is my channel, it's my Nana's channel, but she's died, so it's mine through inheritance, and I'm sharing it with you and the other gays. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's my little gift.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so I loved watching it, but when I really, really, really jumped in was in 2006 when the world changed forever, when the first iteration of the Real Housewives franchise began. Yeah, almost 20 years.
20 years.
Almost 20 years, yeah. And it was
almost the same age as us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're 18, but...
The first show was The Real Housewives of Orange County in California, and it followed all these wealthy women. Then after that, the next one was New York, and then after that, I think Atlanta, then New Jersey, and Miami, and then they have...
Bakersville, North Carolina.
And then they have a bunch. The most recent one is Dubai.
Wow,
Yeah.
I bet that one's amazing.
Yeah, and they have like... And it's such an international thing that has grown and grown and grown. I know that I can really hook you. The father of Bravo, especially of the Real Housewives franchise, is Andy Cohen.
I love Andy Cohen.
Okay, so you already know Andy. So I'm not telling you anything when I tell you he was in Lady Gaga's Guy music video.
Of course, he's in the sky.
He's Zeus.
Yes, he's
and
Zeus.
You know that the women of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are also in it.
Yes,
I have
did
a picture.
know that.
I brought a picture for you.
Yes, Andy Cohen. I thought he was so hot in that video.
He is, and he's so good looking, isn't
Right?
he? You know, one time I ran into him in the East Village, Jake.
Really?
And it was as if I had run into you and I couldn't conjure your name.
So all gay men are the same.
It was whenever I ran into him, I literally was like, my cousin, my best friend, like, this might be my father. What's your fucking name? Like, I was so upset that I couldn't.
Crazy.
And it was Halloween night in the East Village.
Was he dressed up?
And he was in like a flannel shirt. So I don't know. Maybe he was being Charlie from Twilight. And I looked at him and he looked at me and I felt that there was a familiar look. So then I like got to the end of the block and realized who it was. And I turned around and ran and I was like, Andy.
Really?
And I couldn't find him.
No.
Oh, it kills me. I want to meet Andy so
We'll
bad.
have him on one day.
Yeah, I love him. I have so many questions
When he
for
and
him.
Anderson Cooper got drunk on New Year's Eve is one of my favorite.
Mayor de Blasio and his victory lap around New York City. So Andy, he was the vice president at Bravo
Of the United States.
in 2004. But then I don't really know how to nail down what his role is there now. I'm having to go through blind items
kind
and
of like
stuff.
Ryan Seacrest, like does everything?
He kind of has a Ryan Seacresty role. He does produce the Housewives. He casts them. He goes through the things. He said earlier this year that he reviews every episode and has notes on every episode.
I had no idea that he was. I thought he was like just a personality.
And apparently, and this could be wrong. I don't know if this is myth. I will fact check later and probably never say if I was right or wrong. But I did read in researching for this that apparently a friend sent him videos of like wealthy women in a gated community, and he had this idea of making a reality show, Desperate Housewives.
No way.
So that's kind of how it came
so
to be.
Cool.
And I don't know. Did you ever watch Desperate Housewives?
No, but my mom was obsessed, so I like kind of absorbed it. You know.
I don't know what they are, but in it, apparently, like at the beginning, they're like holding something. So all the housewives have that. So like in Atlanta, they're holding a peach, and Salt Lake, they're holding a snowflake. Like it's like a nod to that apparently.
That's interesting. How rich are they?
Okay, so that's an important thing. I want to get into all the different types of women. I'll tell you, I'm gonna kind of jump around about just like different women from different franchises, just so that you can kind of get an idea of the scope, if that makes sense.
I'm already shocked at how big it is.
Yeah, okay, so...
Me seeing Andy Cohen's nudes.
Oh, I did want to say this, just for like premise of the show. It follows 5 to 8 women and their lives and the social dynamics and
they all know
friendships
each other, right?
within, yes. And the show will follow, like, if you and I were on the show, there would be scenes of us having conversations, but then there would just be scenes of you here with Matt and Henry, and then you'd have confessionals talking about me and things like that.
So basically our current...
And so it's called, the genre is called docu-soap because it is a docu-series, but the direction is handled by producers. You know, they plan trips and dinners and things like that. So it's not completely...
And they're like interrogating you, right? And they're trying to get you to kind of talk in those interrogations.
I think
what are those called?
Confessionals, yeah. And I think that they do bait you. And you can tell even in the edit sometimes that I'm like, you used a clip that's not really when she was saying this or whatever. You know, like they're really creative in the edit.
I love that it's called confessional. Isn't that the same thing that the Catholic Church does?
This
is our version of that.
Yes, exactly. And so most of the women are middle-aged and they're wealthy, and even though it's called Housewives, they all have jobs. Like a lot of them own businesses. One woman from Atlanta is a mortician.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and a lawyer.
Oh my god.
She's both.
Is that like a hobby?
And then no, it's like her name's Phaedra. She's my favorite probably of all time. She's amazing.
That's crazy.
And then some of them are married. Some are actually single.
Interesting.
By the way, like the events that bring them together that the producers do, it could be like dinners. It could be going to see Magic Mike. It could be going to do ATVs that end up flipping, and then there's like the hospital. To get them drunk
too, like at dinner and
they're drinking and they're drinking and they're drinking and
that's good TV.
It's such good TV, and sometimes the things revealed when they're drinking is so fantastic. Of course,
did any of them ever hook up?
The women, it's funny you ask that because there have been rumors of some relationships among some of the women, but there have also been rumors of relationships among some of the women with other women's husbands, which is really fun and salacious and crazy as well. And then at the very end in the reason that we're in the dresses is because at the very end of the season, they rehash what has happened in these 15 to 25 episodes.
I definitely have seen like memes of that
Yes,
before.
you definitely have. Andy hosts it. And so then at the reunion, they rehash everything. Because the thing is, now they're watching the show back and they see the confessionals. So things that maybe they resolved during the show are brought back up.
Oh my
because the
God.
reunion is filmed only a few episodes before the final episode of the season comes out. If the finale is coming out in May, they film that in April.
Wow.
And so they're watching it from January to May or to April, seeing
That's
what everyone said and stuff. Yeah. So
crazy.
and the reunions are always 3 parts, each 2 hours long. Like they really milk the shit. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Do you watch all of them?
I don't watch all of the franchises, though I'm sure that will change. Eventually I'll watch them all. At least the American ones. Now, since we're going into that, I'll go into some of these people here.
Oh my God, these notes, Haley.
I'm
literally
sorry,
like
sorry.
we're like in court.
Okay, so some examples of people. One is this woman named Kyle Richards, and she is from one of the very early seasons of Beverly Hills. She was a child star, her and her sister Kim, and she was in the Halloween movies. She played like a little girl who gets haunted.
That's sweet.
She's like the kid who Jamie Lynn Spears, Jamie Lee Curtis is babysitting in the
Jamie
movie.
Lee Curtis.
And she actually came back and was in the most recent movie a couple of years ago, Kyle. And
Her name's Kyle?
Kyle is her name, yeah. Her other sister is Kathy Hilton, Paris Hilton's mom.
No.
Kathy Hilton of the Hiltons.
Wow.
Owns the Hiltons.
Wow.
Like, yes.
Is Paris ever on the show?
No, but Kathy has FaceTimed with Paris or talked to Paris on the phone, things like that, yeah. So it is really interesting. So because there's that, you see there's sister dynamics, and like their mom has died and they have so many issues because one of the sisters is a drug addict and Kathy's very private and doesn't want anyone to know anything about the family. And Kyle really loved her husband, who she's now getting divorced from, and everybody thinks she's a lesbian. So it's crazy.
Wow.
And so
You're
there's-
used to those
and
accusations.
So there's all of these dynamics happening among them. And you see that play out for a lot of the women, because there are a bunch of storylines. At least probably one woman in each franchise has like a big family sort of drama that is like the focus of it, that is their family. But another one would be from Atlanta is Candy Burris, who is a singer, songwriter, and you would know her because she won a Grammy for her work on the TLC song No Scrubs.
No way.
Yes. And so
Wow, this
she's
is a cool cast of people.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, I don't want to say that it's their second act, because I think second act just more refers to where you're at in your life. Not that like your first act was bad. It's just that you're older.
Wicked
and so
Part 2.
It's sort of
For good.
Exactly. And it is their for good is happening. It really and
As they throw drinks at each other over Andy Cohen.
They do. Oh, they do. And so it's this sort of second act of these women who had success when they were younger, and then they come on and they have this sort of renaissance, and it's this new thing. But then they also get these new amazing experiences because of the show. Like a bunch of the women have been in Chicago and played Roxy on Broadway. Yes. A bunch of them have books. A bunch have been
seen
on
one of them?
Dancing with the Stars. No, I wanted to see one of my favorites from Beverly Hills, Erica Girardi, was on Chicago during COVID. And she had started right in March of 2020. So I missed her. But I would love to see her. And actually, a girl who is in one of the spin-off shows called Vanderpump Rules is going to be Roxy soon in Chicago, and she already was. Her name's Ariana Madix. Maybe you knew. Did you ever hear the term Scandival? No. Did that ever touch you?
I've heard of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
But I don't. To give you an idea of how separated I am from this universe, I literally am like, is that Vanderpump Rules? Or is it like the rules of being a Vanderpump? I don't know.
The second.
Okay. This whole time in my head, I'm like, go Vanderpump! Like Vanderpump Rules.
She does. She does. And actually, she was going to be the third example that I was going to talk about, is Lisa Vanderpump. So she was also an actress when she was young, but she and her husband own a bunch of restaurants in California and the UK. She's British. And she is such a fabulous woman. She's not on the show anymore, but Vanderpump Rules is her spin-off show, and it follows the staff at her restaurants working, and they're young and crazy and unhinged, and it's a really interesting show too. But it's not The Housewives because that's a little more, it's less glamorous. The Housewives, I want to see a woman have no problem spending $7,000 on a tiny micro purse. You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see a husband rent out the Pretty Woman necklace for his wife and then tell her, you're not keeping it. Like I want, that's the sort of thing that I'm after.
When Matt did that to me.
Vanderpump isn't the only one who's had spin-off shows. Like some of the women have had had ones about their weddings. Like there was Bethany Ever After, and there was Don't Be Tardy for the Party, this woman Kim getting married.
Are those more like mini-series? Like if it's like around a specific event?
Yeah. And they'll do Girls Trip where they take women from different franchises and bring them together, and they go on like a week-long vacation, and there's like 10 episodes of that.
That's cute.
And that one's really fun. I really enjoy that. And that's how I get to know women from franchises I don't watch. Like I never watched New York or New Jersey, but I do enjoy watching them. It's just that thing of like, you know me, when there's more than 3 seasons, I can't watch it. I cannot
It's
watch
too much.
it. You know what I mean?
They should do like a Hunger Games with them.
And there's 20 episodes a season.
20?
Yeah.
And they're an hour?
Yeah.
God, that's the biggest barrier here.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot
But
for me to consume.
So on the treadmill,
That's
I do
true,
think
true.
that, and I'm only going to,
and those women will motivate me.
And
we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
But I'm only really going to try to get you to watch one.
Which one?
Salt Lake. But that's coming. It's coming.
I can't believe there's one for Salt Lake City.
It's coming. And that one I have a lot to tell you about. Another thing that happens sometimes, like I said, the women, they go on Broadway, they write books, and they have their spin-off shows. And a lot of them go onto the show to get divorced. They go on, and the cameras sort of reveal that the husband's the asshole, and the audience rallies behind the woman, and it sort of encourages it. Like there is a strategy or a theory that there are some women who sign up and sign the contract to be on the show to get
be
divorced.
Like, not only am I going to get my divorce, public humiliation for this man.
Yes.
Everyone will know.
Do you know that Gigi and Bella Hadid's mom was on the Real Housewives, and there was this huge rumor that she had Munchausen by proxy. And if I'll let you watch the season and you decide excuse me. She had Munchausen for herself. Oh. She had this closet, Jake, it was like 6 shelves of just pills. It was insane. Oh my God. It's insane. I'll let you watch and then you decide. And she was on a couple of seasons, and all of the women were like very, very confused by Yolanda. And she was actually married to David Foster.
I love David, the composer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just say, this is a much richer tapestry
than
I was imagining when you told me we were going to talk about Real Housewives. It really is. I'm like, there are astronauts, there are leaders of state have been on this show.
No, really. Wow. Really, and a lot of...
This is like Barbie.
And it is. It's like, I started watching this show when I was in middle school with my Nana, and I loved it so much just for the grandiose wealth, of course, but then also the dynamics. You learn a lot about women and friendship and culture and so like.
Are there touching moments on the show?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Like emotional?
Especially because you have to think you're watching some of these people's kids grow up. Wow. So we're there for their milestones. We're seeing these kids graduate. We see them like go to college, and we see them get their cars. Like you see all this really touching stuff. And then you see like one woman on Salt Lake City, her son was like sharing his battle with addiction, and it was really, really moving. So there are really moving moments. But then on the flip, the opposite of touchy, where we go to prison.
Shut up.
Several women have gone to prison.
Shut up.
Several husbands have gone to prison.
Is it all like money related?
It's defrauding the elderly.
Oh my God.
A couple of them have defrauded the elderly.
What season was Casey Anthony on?
There was one of Miami.
Defrauding the elderly?
Yes.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yes.
Are they still in prison?
One of them is. Actually, okay, so this is actually a perfect segue into... I wanted to sort of explain more by explaining some memes that I think you've seen.
The memes are so famous. I know that I have to know some of them.
But that you probably don't know what it is.
The context.
So remember this song from 2020? Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better.
Is this from the show?
This is from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. This little girl named Gia was singing that song at a party in front of all her friends and family. It's actually such a devastating moment. Clearly she was going through a lot. I don't think she's even 10. And she's singing that publicly. And we know how TikTok works.
It wasn't teardrops on my guitar. We'll just say that. Our song was not composed that day. I actually feel like people kind of loved it.
I loved it.
I
loved it. There was a time that actually during 2020, whenever I made that Davis's alarm ringtone when it went off, and he was so mad. But I was so happy. But she was actually on a new spinoff show that they did because she's grown up so much. That was like, in the early 2010s when that song Waking Up in the Morning was on the show. So she was just on the spin-off show called Next Gen NYC, where a bunch of their kids are living in New York.
That's so cute.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that. So if you invest, you really kind of, it's like, this is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
like,
it is. It really is.
You're getting all these cameos, like callbacks and stuff.
It really is.
That's kind of cool.
It is. I'm going to say one that you say all of the time. And I say you say it all of the time. I think I've maybe heard you say this once. And you may have been meaning it literally. When you're saying, a white refrigerator.
No, I do know a white refrigerator, meaning it literally. Well, I did probably. I love that clip. I've actually watched that whole clip.
So do you want me to give you a little more breaking down? Yes,
I have no idea what's going on in that.
Okay, all right. So the woman saying it is Nene Leakes. Were you a Gleek?
Yes, of course.
I was not a Gleek, but you know Nene then if you were a Gleek, because she played, let me check my notes, Roz Washington?
Really?
Sue Sylvester's she was the synchronized swim coach.
Was this before Housewives?
She was on Housewives and got the opportunity for it. Then she worked with Ryan Murphy. They had sort of like a relationship.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so she was on that show. In this clip, Nene is going to see Kenya Moore, who is this woman who was Miss USA.
Wow.
And in 1993, she went to Miss Universe and was 6th.
Wow.
She's beautiful. She was, I think, in the middle of a divorce. She's also a woman who is so messy. Anytime she's in a fight with anyone, she goes there. She's honestly some of the most fantastic television ever. But one thing she did was one time she was mad. She was like, I'm gonna twirl away. Watch me twirl. Watch me twirl. And she kept just twirling and twirling and twirling and twirling. And then, like a year later, Formation comes out. And whenever Beyonce says, I twirl on them haters.
Is that a reference
then
to her?
Kenya is like, I inspired Beyonce. I inspired Beyonce. All the women think she's delusional for this, of course. This woman has moved into a home with a white refrigerator, this fabulous Miss USA woman. And Nene, who is in her bag with Glee at the time, steps out of the car and says,
the ghetto! The ghetto.
I have seen that clip. Oh my God. And she's with her, right?
Yeah, and she's like, I was shocked, honey. I was in tears.
Yeah, I was in tears.
Almost. Because she's going to see Kenya at her home that has the white fridge and white stove. And she was like, do you remember? Come on, honey, let's get you out of here. Let's go find you a home. Nene is seriously.
Oh my God.
So that's the context of one of your faves.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yep.
I love that clip. That's queer history.
It really is. It really is. There are more too. Do you know the one, bling bling bling, bitches is mad?
Yes,
that's Nene as well.
No.
In that scene, she is separated from her husband Greg, who she eventually gets back together with. I love those kinds of stories. Whenever two divorced people can't stand each other, but they can't stand to be without each other. Yeah, I love it. In that, they're separated, and she's hanging out with this white Italian man in New York who gives her a Rolex, and she's like, what is this? And he's like, because you mean so much to me and you're so special. She says, well, whatever that means.
Whatever that means. That is an iconic clip.
And then she just puts the watch up and bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
Oh my God. This is
guy.
crazy to me. Not only have you revealed that the I was going to say contestants, but the women of this show are like CEOs, pop stars, Grammy winners. Like, you're also revealing to me that this has contributed to the culture in a way only comparable to perhaps William Shakespeare.
No, it
and
really
Taylor
has.
Swift.
It really has.
I am repeating this stuff without knowing where it's even coming from.
Yes, it comes from them. It comes from them. The third and final meme that I want to explain to you is the legendary and iconic, that's my opinion!
It's so good.
So that is happening between the OG housewife from Orange County, Vicki Gunvalson. She is from season 1. She's like the first housewife ever. Like she
is still on?
So major. She has been, so here's the thing. You can be a cast member or you can be a friend of, which is where you don't get a tagline, you're not in the opening credits, but you get to come to some dinners. A
couple times, yeah.
And so Vicky has been promoted and demoted back and forth from cast to friend many times. I don't know what her status is right now.
Do you think she wants to be a cast member all the time?
Of course.
Wow.
Her most recent, when she was a cast member, I think her tagline was, "I'm the OG from OC. Everything else is just a copy."
Wow.
And so, but she came a long way. Her first tagline ever was, "I don't want to get old."
Well.
And I want to get into taglines in a minute because that is so iconic. And there are some that maybe you've heard before,
too. Do they
too.
play them every episode?
Every episode. It's kind of like how iCarly, the beginning, I don't know why that's what first came to my mind, but I know you see.
Wait, it's their theme song?
It's kind of like a theme song of, there's like music behind it and it shows each woman and they say their tagline.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah,
so there must be
fun.
some like famous ones,
Yeah,
right?
there are some really fun famous ones. Like one of Nene's, for example, that's really funny is, "I'm the glue for my wig and my family." But in the "that's my opinion" meme of it all, Vicky is talking to Tamra. And this is what I mean when I say it's about the dynamics of female friendship. These two are sisters. It's so toxic. They're not literally sisters, but they're sisters. It's so toxic. It's cruel.
What would that be like?
I couldn't imagine.
I can't
imagine at all. Tamra says to Vicky about her boyfriend, "I said I don't think he's good for you." And Vicky says, "How do you know what's good for me?" And Tamra says, "That's my opinion!" And she loses her mind, right?
And this is at a dinner?
No, this is at the reunion, at the very
Are
end.
more people around them than just the two of them and Andy Cohen?
The whole cast.
That's crazy.
So the whole cast is there. So it's like 10 people on the soundstage screaming at each other. And the context for that, Tamra was right. The reason he wasn't good for her, Jake, is because he was pretending to have cancer. He was forging medical documents pretending to have cancer. He was lying to everyone. So when she bursts in a rage of "that's my opinion," it's because she's like, "He's a con artist!"
That's fucking nuts.
She's actually so valid.
That's crazy.
That her best friend is with this guy.
Did she know? Did Vicky know?
Vicky is such a woman who wants so bad to be in love that she was blind to the blind spots for so long. Yeah.
You know, you hear something like that and you're like, that's unbelievable, but we know someone in real life who pretended to have cancer. And we'll just say that person's spouse, no gendered pronouns, stuck by them. So it happens.
You're an idiot.
We do.
Ooh. Oh, duh. I thought you were making a joke about me, and I was like, I didn't think.
I mean literal. I'm stupid so much. She was like, "Me and Davis? And this is a weird joke, Jake, and you're really selling it, like doubling down."
Yeah.
But no, we know someone in real life
You're so right. I
who
forgot
pretended
about
to have
that.
cancer.
That
And
is.
they did it not only for the attention, but also to keep their partner with them, and it worked.
Third baby on the way. You know, Jake, our Patreon is only $3, but weekly full video episodes with your two favorite bitches, priceless. We have full video episodes on our Patreon. We also have bonus content. And we would just really appreciate any support you can give if you would be willing to subscribe over there. But if not, you can also
follow us on all of our social media accounts. That would be like Instagram, TikTok. Please, please, please give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and get your little tagline on in our reviews on Apple Podcasts. Give us a written review.
Perfect. So I told you that about the themes and the taglines.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I figured that we could read some of the most iconic ones.
I can't wait.
I have yours marked with your name. So we'll go back and forth. I'll go first. And then
Why are there all these slurs on mine?
Okay. Life's not all diamonds and rosé, but it should be.
I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste. That's a good one.
Isn't it? This one's from Tamra, the woman, that's my opinion. I'm pint-sized, baptized, and highly prized.
Haley said that in bed at Davis last night. She said, come let me baptize you.
Moving on. Oh, I think you'll love this one, Jake.
Oh my God. God is my savior. My husband is my king. And my body It's sinful. That's so good. That's a chorus to a song. Taylor.
Oh, this is from my favorite woman, Phaedra the mortician. Only God can judge me, and he seems quite impressed.
I mean, look at the material.
Okay.
I never feel guilty about being privileged.
I wanted you to read that one.
That's how when I answer the phone.
But I put the final one and say that in a British accent. This is Lisa Vanderpump's most iconic one.
I'm not passionate about dogs.
No, I am.
Sorry, just
Freudian
self-insert. Freudian slip. I'm passionate about dogs, just not crazy about bitches.
Perfect. So then I wrote us 2 original taglines.
I saw mine. I love it.
Did you love it? Do you love it?
Okay.
Okay. Mine is, I've got a podcast, a fat ass, and a lot of cash.
I love Taylor, and I will read you Swift. That's so good. Should I start doing the end of my... Next time I call someone out on TikTok, I'm ending it with that for fucking sure.
Oh, good. I'm glad you love it. Okay, I am now going to move on to the reason that we are here, and that is to discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake
I'm so
City.
fascinated by the existence of this.
Okay, Salt Lake City is the most recent American iteration of the Real Housewife franchise. And it began in November of 2020 is when it came out. The most iconic thing to happen in November of 2020, more iconic than Joe Biden winning the presidency. And
Much more.
I didn't watch it at all. But then last summer, I had seen so much about all this drama that had happened in season 4. And I was like, okay, I can bend my more than 3 season rule because it's only at 4. Like, I'm going to start watching this. And last summer was a difficult summer familially for us. So like, I was really relying on this show and it was getting me through. So because the Real Housewives at the point that this began had been going on for 15 years, there is a formula and the women of Salt Lake have it down pat because they have been watching all of these other women do it and seeing the franchises, how the fights work.
So it just started
how
straight
to poke
perfect.
It started instantly with the drama. And because it is based in Salt Lake, we have Mormonism.
Stephanie Meyer's there, baby.
And then we have Mormonism, in quotes, okay?
Ooh.
So I want to do a rundown on some of these women to give you kind of an example of what I mean by just what a fantastic just cast of characters we have here.
Do they look like the Mormon influencers on TikTok?
Sort of, but they're more middle-aged.
Okay.
There are 2 women who have been a part of the cast in the 4 seasons who are a bit younger, like in their 30s. And I bet she would love to be on that show.
I bet she will be one
I bet
day.
she would love to be on it. I don't know that
Who's
Andy
the other
would
one?
let
Ballerina
her.
Farm.
And yeah, they probably would both love to be. I wonder if they've ever been in talks. You don't know how many women have been in talks to do this show.
Really?
So many people. Even Julia Fox said because Andy Cohen actually has a show that comes out Monday through Friday called Watch What Happens Live that comes on
I know that
after
show.
a new episode of whatever show's new that night. And Julia Fox was on and she said that she would consider doing New York.
Wow.
Like, it's so iconic. People...
Prestigious.
Like, she's been,
Would you do it?
Me? Of course.
Really?
Genuinely. And so on Salt Lake City, they came out with a huge bang because of the Mormon versus, air quotes, Mormon. For example, we've got, in the first 5 seasons that have come out, we had one woman go to prison for defrauding the elderly.
Was she scare quotes Mormon or Mormon?
Oh, no. She's Muslim.
What?
I don't think that had anything to do with why she did what she did.
No, and it's only funny because I was just expecting Mormon, so I was...
So that happened, and before getting arrested, she punched another cast member, and the cast member lied and covered it up and said she fell or something. And that woman has multiple New York Times bestsellers about leaving the Mormon church because she got divorced. And when they get divorced, you can't be in the temple anymore.
That's crazy.
And her family was like the original pioneer people who like forged the trail that... I don't know if it was good or bad. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know.
Like the original Mormons,
yes,
the out west.
Yeah. And so her journey, it's really fascinating
crazy.
because she struggles so much and she misses the tradition of Mormonism in so many ways too.
Does she say why she got divorced?
I think he had an affair.
Wow.
But of course, he's still completely welcome in the Mormon church.
Yeah.
And then you have a woman named Lisa Barlow, who's one of my favorites, and she's originally from New York, and she talks like this. And she'll say, like, she has a problem with this one woman's husband, and she's like, someone's like, oh, I think he's cute. He's really cute. And this is how Lisa talks. You don't know, but this is a perfect impression. She goes like this. I disagree. He looks like a who. He looks like a who from Whoville. And she is Mormon, and she loves God. But her livelihood is a tequila line.
Does she drink it?
Yes, Vida Tequila. I'll shout it out. I've never had it.
God, that's hysterical.
Yes, and she is best friends with a woman named Meredith Marks, who, another perfect impression where she's like, the rumors and the nastiness. You want to talk about her husband? The rumors and the nastiness. She always seems to be a little... I don't know.
Something.
But I will say, her confessionals are so funny because she will go the fuck off if they're on a girls' trip and she doesn't get a room with a bathtub.
Really?
She is so upset. Oh my God.
Me and Matt, baby. Every vacation, if there's not a bathtub in my room, I'm irate.
This woman really is. She's come out with a line of bath bombs as a result. Like, this is like her whole thing.
I need a bathtub.
Yes, that's Meredith too, so then you relate to her. Then there was a younger girl who's on it, who your look is sort of inspired by with the short blonde hair. Her name is Whitney Wild Rose.
Oh.
And she's always talking about how she's on her healing journey. Healing.
Journey.
It's so funny. And she is married to the man she had an affair with, and they both got kicked out of the church over.
Wow.
Yes, and I think they're happy.
Good for them.
And
That's
then,
how you and Davis met.
Yeah, right. Then the big, major cast member, and this, buckle up for the story of Miss Mary Cosby.
Is it Bill Cosby's wife?
No.
I was like, what tea?
No. So Mary Cosby runs her own church, and this is a good way to describe her. Her tagline from season 1 was, if you come for me, I will send Jesus after you.
Wow.
Okay. Mary runs her own church, but it's Jesus-y. It's not Mormon and sort of Christian adjacent, but also she's the mother of the church. It's weird.
That sounds a little culty.
And a lot of the women say that it's very culty. She is actually married to her deceased grandmother's husband.
Well, hold on.
Her step-grandpa.
What?
Who's many decades older than her. And she married him when she was in her early 20s.
Shut up.
Yes.
So it's a love story.
And she said that like it was her grandmother's will for them to be together. And
I buy it.
And that she wanted them to be together, Robert Sr. She's the one actually who shared the story of her son's recovery. They have one son, Robert.
That's crazy.
Yes. She told Jen Shaw, the woman who ended up going to prison, first episode, Jen is like, I need to confront Mary about what she said to me. Like, she really hurt my feelings. Like, and what had happened was Jen had been in the hospital literally watching the aunt who raised her die. Okay. And Mary said to Jen upon seeing her, ugh, you smell like hospital.
You know, I support women's rights, but I support women's wrongs. You know, and every time they call me crazy, I get more crazy. How about that?
She said some of the meanest things about Heather, the original pioneer woman. She said, Heather's a true Mormon. She don't even know she looks inbred.
Oh my God. I'm going to watch this one. I have to watch this one.
Yes, you really do.
Oh my God.
You really do. Because then the thing that got me, the drama that I was hearing about, that I was like, what is going on? And I'll only tease you up a little because I want you to watch it and really get the full effect because it's crazy, Jake. A new woman was added to the cast for season 4. Her name was Monica, and she was young. And she's a single mom. She had a mom who was crazy, like the grandmother to her kids. Like, she was an insane woman. And you pity Monica, and the women all plan this big birthday trip to Bermuda for her because she's from Bermuda and she's going to meet her family that she's never met there before. And right before she meets them, they cancel on her. Like, it's this horrible thing. And then in the season finale, which is the Bermuda trip, they are down for dinner and they're saying how like what a hard time they've had, that there's been all these horrible nasty rumors about them on social media, all of these things coming out. There's this account that goes after them and harasses and doxes them and like posts things about them all of the time.
Is this what I think it is?
It's Monica.
Dan and
It's
Gossip Girl.
Monica.
Oh my God. How did they find
And
out?
as recently as that day, she was sending things to them. Moments before the dinner, she was sending things to them under Reality Von Tease.
Did
was the
anyone know
name.
who it was? Did Andy Cohen know?
No. She tried to say after the fact that she told production all about this and but Andy said there's no way that they would not have hired her if they knew that she was
Holy
harassing these
shit.
women. The reaction to it is honestly wonderful and fantastic and just some of the greatest television you could ever watch.
How did they figure out it was her?
Heather, the Pioneer woman, had someone do some digging, and her hairdresser was friends with Monica and knew all about it and just like was overcome with guilt and told her everything.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
What happened to her?
Well, she got kicked off, but not before having to go through a reunion. A 3-part reunion with everyone.
Did she
where
go
they
to
all-
the reunion knowing that they knew?
Yes, because they confronted her in Bermuda on her birthday at dinner. The famous line, maybe you've seen this online, receipts, proof, screenshot, timelines, fucking everything. That's about this.
On her birthday?
On her birthday
And you did it
trip.
at my birthday dinner?
Yes.
Sucking dick and
Yes,
cock?
literally.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And so it's revealed then. And during that season, there was a friend of, so not a full-blown cast member, named Angie K. And her last name is like Katsanavis or something. She's Greek and is so proud of being Greek. And she earned her spot for season 5 to be a full-blown cast member. And she is, Jake, the ones who are near to me and near and dear to me, I'm scared to even say them because some of them are controversial. They're figures that like you used to love, but now maybe you shouldn't love so much. But I just
Everyone's
love them
entitled
forever.
to a problematic fave.
Right. So I love you, Kyle Richards. But my OG favorites are like my core. They are my girls. Like I love them. No one is comparing to them. Angie ascended to the top with these women. Wow. That never happens. And I would like for us to, this is going to be cold for you, but I would love for us to do a scene.
We did this in acting school.
I'm sorry, but of course I'm Angie. And you're going to be Brittany.
I'm so curious if this is going to be an angry scene, an emotional scene, a funny scene.
You'll be able to pick it up quickly. Here you go.
Where are we?
We are at a party. We're actually at Meredith, our bath bomb woman. She has just had her bat mitzvah. This is the sort of refreshments part of the event.
Wait, hers?
Yes, she did
convert?
one early. She did one late. She's Jewish, but she married a Jewish man, and it was like important to them, and so.
I would also love if it was just like they cast a teenager.
Me too. It's Mormon country. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't look like I have a high body count. I don't dress like I have a high body count, and I don't wear my hair like I have a high body count.
Do you think my hair looks cheap?
It looks a little pornish. Your hair, yeah.
Do you really mean that? Do you think my hair looks slutty?
That looks like high body count hair. That does. That does not. That does not. That does not. This is not high body count hair. That's high body count dress. Those are high body count heels. If you're gonna call me slutty, I think I look like a mother.
I'm in serious shock right now.
Do I look slutty? Do I look slutty?
You know what, Angie? Screw you.
No, screw you.
No, screw you!
Slutty Brittany, take your bump it and walk away.
I just threw the wig and I spilled the wine.
You're a housewife, baby.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Oh, and
They were
that's
at a
just-
Mormon event?
At the bat mitzvah. Yes. The post-religious event. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I have to watch
You
this
have
one.
to watch
I
it.
have to watch it.
I think that you'd really enjoy it. I think your summer runs are about to get a lot cooler in Salt Lake City, Utah, honey. Thank you so much for listening to all of this. Like, I have been so looking forward to just finally holding you hostage and giving you the rundown.
I'm like women's stories matter.
Women's stories matter.
I wasn't reading my herstory, and it's
No.
time to atone for my
And
sins
it
in
is.
Utah.
In Utah. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The